Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm having a good one. I'm up and out early this morning, and just got thinking because I've seen some people who have been posting and saying that the Cowboys should re-sign Randy Gregory. We should look at bringing back Randy Gregory. You know, that whole situation is actually sad. You know, in life, I think that each person has their certain kind of gifts, okay? If you look at me as far as pronouncing names, I almost couldn't pronounce that. If you look at me with the good old King's English or the Queen's English or whatever the term is, I'm not good at it. If you look at me being a guy reading out loud, I'm awful with it. I sound damn near illiterate. My gift is being able to look at something and see what the potential can be, or how to build something, or spatially how to get as much into a space as possible, and then being able to build it to that. That's my gift. And I've been fortunate enough that I've been able to use that gift and maximize it as much as I can for me. Maybe the potential's not quite there. Maybe I'm actually not getting the potential out of it as much as I should be. So those who live in glass houses shouldn't cast the first stone. But you look at the God-given gifts that a guy like Randy Gregory had and say, what a waste of a lot of potential. See, and this goes back to the Cowboys philosophy that I've always said with the Cowboys. You know, you look at it right now, you look and you say, man, the Cowboys potentially have hit again on another first-round pick. You go down the line and you look at some of the first-round picks that we've had. Tyler Smith, Tyler Guyton, Zach Martin, before Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, Micah Parsons. Teams don't hit like that on first-round. CeeDee Lamb. Guys like that on first-round picks. I dare say, I can't prove it, but I dare say the Cowboys have to be the best team at drafting first-round picks in the last 15 years. They just are. Now, that's not to say they didn't mix in a Taco Charlton, but, the Eagles mix in guys like Gregory all the time, okay? So, after passing on Justin Jefferson, because they didn't want that guy because he was ass. They are incredible, and that's where I always say I wouldn't be opposed to the Cowboys trading a second-round pick for a really good player, because typically they don't do good with second-round picks because of their philosophy. They feel like we've hit on that first round, but we want a bargain. And herein lies the problem, the fatal flaw of the Cowboys. We want a bargain with that second-round pick. We want a first-round guy with that second-round pick. And they take risk on guys that have a problem and say, maybe this guy ends up being the potential that he should have been if he didn't have X. You think of Jalen Smith, where a lot of people stayed away because they said he may never recover. He may never play another game. The Cowboys said, well, our doctors looked at him and said, he's going to come back. Well, he came back and he's had a career in the NFL. But he's never been able to live up to that because he's had drop foot. You think about Tristan Hill, a guy who had a lot of potential and ability, but the red flags were there because he didn't get along with the coaches. He didn't start because he didn't follow the rules. And then there's Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory, who could have been a top 10 pick, but literally in the biggest job interview of his life, didn't pass the drug test. That's a guy that had a lot of God-given talent. and sadly was ready to make a whole lot of money. Well, he made a good amount of money there with that Denver contract. But thank God the Cowboys ended up not getting the deal done with him. Or maybe it would have been better if it had, because maybe the Cowboys would have been able to get him to be closer to his potential. Maybe they had learned how to deal with him to get the most out of him. But he wasn't anywhere near it. He only scratched the surface. For him to go to Denver, get a fresh start, no. That potential was never realized. To go to San Francisco, a team that literally he was in the Super Bowl with, no. And now to go to Tampa Bay and literally not show up. So Tampa Bay and him have agreed, basically, you're cut, you're done, you're a free agent. And apparently most people think that he's going to retire. But we have people that are saying, hey, Randy Gregory's out there. Yeah, Randy, unfortunately, is a name. And you'll think about a couple of the good games that he had. But you're never going to see the potential out of it. That he is, unfortunately, a guy that playing football and being the best is not there. And we've had guys like that, because we've had a couple of guys that could have been Hall of Famers if they had the desire to be great. And those guys, when I think of David Irving, Cowboys signed David Irving off of Kansas City's practice squad. And David Irving, as he famously said, had more talent rolling out of bed than, of course, most people had at all. A guy who could wreak havoc on other teams, but again, just didn't have the desire. He wanted to go out and just kind of smoke weed. Now, not that I'm saying that smoking weed is necessarily a bad thing. It's right for some and not right for others. But again, another guy with wasted potential. And then there's Rolando McClain. Oh my God. That mother humper. Rolando McClain, linebacker, we got from the Raiders. A true middle linebacker that was a thumper. And when I say thumper, that's a guy who could literally take on the guard, knock him the hell off, and then hit that guy, hit the hole, and make a devastating tackle. That guy didn't want to practice. I just didn't want to put in the work. And it's sad because these guys all had so much talent that they could literally sleepwalk and be on an NFL team. That had they had the desire, because more times than not, the longevity in the NFL is beyond just that great talent. You have to be able to have that desire, and you have to be able to put in that work to be able to get there. And unfortunately, these guys just didn't have that desire. What a waste. So put that Randy Gregory thought of let's go get Randy Gregory out your mind. That one is one, he just El Paso.